Hello FG fam, and welcome to the 14th episode of the Miami Marlins franchise here on MLB the Show 21. Today is draft day, and I decided to combine what I normally do with my scouting episodes and just throw it into one big draft episode. Part of the reason for that is that the last scouting episode I did not do as well as the draft episode, so why not combine them all together, make one big happy episode. I hope that all of you will enjoy it. If you do, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe if you're new to help us all build a winner together and continue growing this channel. It really does help. If you were lucky enough to get selected as a player in this class, today is your day. So make sure you watch the whole video to find out where you're selected. Without further ado, let's get into this draft. With the first overall selection, the Pittsburgh Pirates select shortstop Mitchell Mullen out of UNC. Mullen is a 3-year starter for the Tar Heels that will be MLB ready right out of the gate. It is not going to take long for the Pirates to want to call him up to the bigs. With the second pick, the Baltimore Orioles select center fielder Roman Brassard out of Louisville. Despite starting for 4 straight seasons with Louisville, Brassard's still very raw at the plate, but he has the mental makeup to realize his full potential. With the third pick, the Seattle Mariners select third baseman Bobby O'Connor out of Boston College. Bobby is likely never going to be a great power corner infielder, but if his defense improves, he could develop into a solid contact-hitting third baseman. With the fourth pick, the Texas Rangers select catcher Enrique Perez out of Vanderbilt. Perez is very raw in all aspects of his game, but at 19 years old, he still has plenty of time to develop into an everyday catcher with the right coaching. He was a top recruit to Vandy out of California, and his potential is a big reason why. With the fifth pick, the Colorado Rockies select starting pitcher Perry Fuld out of Florida. Perry isn't going to take a long time to get to the big leagues. He was heavily recruited in the Northeast, but Florida came in with a late offer, and he took the opportunity to spend spring break right, as he is a party guy. With the sixth pick, the Detroit Tigers select Milt Bauer, closing pitcher out of Rutgers. Now, Rutgers stole Bauer from Pittsburgh late in recruiting, but they got a one-and-done with him, as the 18-year-old is making the jump to the pros. We'll see how long it takes for him to reach the big leagues. With the seventh pick, the San Francisco Giants select Leo Rodriguez, a starting pitcher out of Rutgers. Teammates going back-to-back as the New Jersey native Rodriguez becomes a Giant. He needs to work on giving up less hits and finding a true strikeout pitch, but Rodriguez is the real deal. With the eighth pick, the Toronto Blue Jays select Adam Malone, closing pitcher out of Oregon. Malone may be more balanced than Milt Bauer, and it'll be interesting to see if his extra experience in college serves him well. With the ninth pick, the Oakland Athletics select Luis Medeiros, starting pitcher out of Coastal Carolina. Now, Luis has been trying to take care of his parents back in Puerto Rico, and he got a scholarship to Coastal. Now, just 2 seasons later, he's a pro ball player. He's no doubt going to be working hard to try to get to the bigs and bring his family over to the States, so we'll see how that works out for him. Everyone's rooting for him. With the 10th pick, the Kansas City Royals select Nino Guzman, starting pitcher out of Illinois. The DeKalb High School standout played 1 year for the Illini before going 10th in this draft. Scouts say he still has a lot of work to do to be the complete pitcher that the Royals are going to need, but it is the Royals, and they have time. With the 11th pick in the draft, the Cleveland Indians select Victor Casilla, another starting pitcher out of Florida. Casilla came over from the Dominican Republic 2 years ago, and he has all of the stuff. Now he just needs to work on the intangibles. With the 12th pick, your Miami Marlins select Joe Hagan, closing pitcher out of Louisville. For back-to-back seasons, the Marlins take a closing pitcher with their first-round pick. They take one of the last blue-chip guys in this class in Hagen, and he will need some time in the minors to develop his pitches a little bit more. Right now, he's a pure strikeout guy, and he needs to work on his control and not giving up the long ball. With the 13th overall pick, the Chicago Cubs select Jose Oliveros, right fielder out of UNC. Another Dominican Republic native in the top 15 picks, and another UNC player in the top 15 picks, as Oliveros got strong consideration from Miami, but they didn't feel like he would be ready for at least another 2 seasons. He's raw for sure, and we'll see what the Cubs do with him. With the 14th pick, the Arizona Diamondbacks select Joaquin Aguero, closing pitcher out of Texas. The Venezuelan superstar played 4 years for the Longhorns, and he was very reliable as a closer for them. It is very rare that he gives up a long ball, and he has some really nasty stuff. With the 15th pick in the draft, the Tampa Bay Rays select Andres Prado, starting pitcher out of Arizona State. The 20-year-old Colorado native is very MLB ready. His stuff is nasty, and he barely walks batters. He could really be a nice starter for Tampa for years to come. With the 16th pick, the Cincinnati Reds select Chris Sandoval, starting pitcher out of Maryland. Another run on starting pitchers here, the oldest player selected so far. At 23 years old, he has to prove he's ready to come up to the majors sooner than later despite some heavy control issues. With the 17th pick, the Philadelphia Phillies select Floyd Goins, shortstop out of Vanderbilt. This Alabama native got his best offer from the Commodores, and he jumped on it. His fielding and base running is fantastic, but he's got to develop the bat a little more before he can see a call up to the bigs. With the 18th pick, the Milwaukee Brewers select Craig McFadden, second baseman out of Indiana. Now, Craig was great friends with the Royal selection earlier today, Nino Guzman, from first grade all the way through 10th grade until Craig fell in love with Nino's older sister in the 11th grade. It's caused a bit of a rift in their friendship, and McFadden has decided to become a Hoosier instead of an Illini. McFadden has a long way to go before reaching the majors, but this second baseman's looking to get big hits off of Nino Guzman in the future. With the 19th pick, the Washington Nationals select Johnny Blue, first baseman out of Boise State. He is such a raw player that many don't think he's ever going to reach the majors, but if he does, he's definitely going to have the best mustache in Major League Baseball. With the 20th pick in the draft, the Atlanta Braves select Kevin Dell, relief pitcher out of Illinois. The Illinois Fighting Illini closer figures to just be a reliever in the minors due to his poor performances in clutch situations. With the 21st pick, the Los Angeles Angels select Cesar Camacho, second baseman out of Kansas State. This young Dominican was the best player on a really poor Wildcats team. Now, will he be something in the bigs or never make it in a big league lineup? We'll have to find out. With the 22nd pick, the Chicago White Sox select Kelly McCoy, center fielder out of Virginia Tech. This PA native got as far from his parents as he could with a full scholarship. He's still angry about his name, and he's been wanting to get it legally changed. Maybe, if he can make it to the bigs, we'll just see his new identity. With the 23rd pick, the New York Mets select Dan Cordova, relief pitcher out of Missouri. Another 23-year-old off the board and one of the most raw prospects taken thus far as well. Can you say bust? With the 24th pick, the Minnesota Twins select Pablo Beltran, relief pitcher out of Minnesota. This Venezuelan native could only get a scholarship from the Gophers, and while he is just 19 and has some room for growth, many aren't sure he will ever do it. It's fitting the Twins gave the local college star a chance. With the 25th pick of the draft, the St. Louis Cardinals select Isaiah Parra, relief pitcher out of Stanford. A run on very raw relief pitchers continues here with Parra, who has to use his great breaking pitches if he's going to succeed in the future. With the 26th pick, the Boston Red Sox select Michael Haynes, relief pitcher out of Iowa. Haynes from the Netherlands is another extremely raw reliever, but he relies mostly purely on power pitching. We'll see if any of these four relievers can make any noise in the future. With the 27th pick, the San Diego Padres select Jose Chavez, third baseman out of Illinois. Another Illini in the first round, but this 19-year-old is ahead of his curve and not as raw as many would think a 19-year-old would be. He could develop into a nice bat in the near future. With the 28th pick, the Houston Astros select Joaquin Lopez, center fielder out of Indiana. Another DeKalb High School guy who followed his best friend to the Hoosiers and will try to make a name for himself now. He's the most raw first rounder at the plate, but he does have a great glove and is excellent on the base paths. With the 29th pick, the LA Dodgers select Gabriel Medrano, relief pitcher out of Auburn. The only scholarship this Puerto Rico native could get was with Auburn, and it turned into 4 years of consistency with his power pitching. His 96-mile-per-hour fastball killed guys in college, but will it scratch a dent in the minors and beyond? With the 30th pick, the defending champion New York Yankees select Calvin Lucy, strong safety out of Ole Miss. This Tennessee native transferred to Ole Miss this past season and played well. Most scouts see some good potential in him, but he had to transfer for a reason. He is extremely raw at the plate and in the field. And now that the first round is over, we'll go over all of the users selected and Marlins selections only for the rest of the draft. With the second pick in the competitive balance round A, pick 32 overall, the Baltimore Orioles select center fielder Michael Kingley out of Georgia Tech. He was recruited by Virginia Tech, his dream school, but when he was told he wouldn't start as a freshman, that was not acceptable to him, so he turned it into 4 years of starting at Georgia Tech, and it has worked out well for him. The Orioles see great potential in Kingley. With the third pick in the competitive balance round A, which is pick 33 overall, the Kansas City Royals select center fielder Harry Eisenberger out of Missouri. Harry is raw, but certainly excels on the base paths, and if he can work with a good hitting coach, he really could develop into a Lorenzo Cain type of starting center fielder at the big league level. With the third pick in the second round, 41 overall, the Seattle Mariners select shortstop Alexander Quesnel from Canada. Quesnel is raw at the plate, solid in the field, and great on the base paths. We'll have to see how that develops in the future. He could really be well-rounded. With the seventh pick in the second round, 45th overall, the Toronto Blue Jays select third baseman Jeriel Aponte from Puerto Rico. Aponte has a decent contact bat for the minors, but he'll need to improve greatly before he can ever join a big league club. With the 11th pick in the second round, 49th overall, the Arizona Diamondbacks select starting pitcher Tyrell Goodman out of Coastal Carolina. Coastal's ace starter this year waits till the second round to be selected, but he's going to let his play do the talking. He's got good potential and projects to get to the bigs in the next couple of seasons. With the 14th pick in the second round, 52nd overall, the Philadelphia Phillies select first baseman Ryan Baker out of Iowa. The Hawkeye power bat gets selected by a rival squad, and he looks like a solid pinch hit option if he were with the Phillies today. I'm scared of how he could develop, honestly. With the 17th pick in the second round, 55 overall, the Atlanta Braves select center fielder Ben McCutchen out of Maryland. This speedy defender needs to get better against righty pitching, but he's got solid potential. He may have a hard time getting around Acuna in Atlanta, though. With the first pick in the compensation round, 65th pick overall, the New York Mets select first baseman Ash Laser out of Indiana. Ash has a really solid major league bat right now and some great vision and discipline, but right now he's just a pinch hitter / DH at the moment, and he needs to develop further than that. With the second pick in the compensation round, 66 overall, the Boston Red Sox select second baseman Ozzie Blunt out of Auburn. Ozzie was a 4-year Ironman for Auburn. He never missed a single game, but he's still raw at the plate for now, and he definitely has things he needs to work on. With the first pick in competitive balance round B, 69th overall, nice, your Miami Marlins select starting pitcher Diego Hernandez from Puerto Rico. After missing out on a second rounder because of the signing of Noah Syndergaard, The Marlins take 22-year-old Hernandez, who could be a nice starter if he works out the intangibles a little bit, but he does have some nice stuff and decent control of it. With the 4th pick in the competitive balance round B, 72nd overall, the Tampa Bay Rays select right fielder Brandon Hernandez out of Oklahoma State. Hailing from New Mexico, Brandon wanted to go to Texas, but after taking a red shirt, he transferred over to Oklahoma State, where he started for the next 4 seasons and beat Texas a total of 15 times. He's a very good contact hitter with great discipline, vision, and he has been known to be clutch and get big hits in big spots. With the 12th pick in the 3rd round, 86th overall, your Miami Marlins select closing pitcher Andres Del Villar out of Oklahoma State. This Mexico native played 2 seasons for the Cowboys and shut the door 48 times in those 2 seasons for them. He boasts great potential, despite being the 3rd closer selected by Miami in the last 2 drafts. With the 17th pick in the 3rd round, 91st overall, the Philadelphia Phillies select closing pitcher Will Blandford out of Virginia Tech. Blandford doesn't have a long track to the majors, as he already has an amazing fastball, slider, and splitter that helps him close a ton of games. With the 18th pick in the 3rd round, 92nd overall, the Milwaukee Brewers select second baseman Tay Hawkins out of Michigan. The only standout player for the Wolverines this year, he definitely has shown a ton of potential to be great at contact hitting and potentially be one of the better contact hitting second basemen in the majors. With the 19th pick in the 3rd round, 93rd overall, the Washington Nationals select left fielder John Keys out of Boston College. Keys shows potential, but he is very, very raw for now. Good speed, though, for a corner outfielder and some solid contact numbers. Now on to the 4th round, and with the 8th pick in the 4th round, 112th overall, the Toronto Blue Jays select 3rd baseman Miles Burrow out of Washington State. For the Colorado native, there just weren't too many offers on the table, and he definitely preferred Wazoo over Boise. He spent 3 years there and has developed a very good bat. However, his fielding and base running bring nothing to the table currently. With the 10th pick in the 4th round, 114th overall, the Kansas City Royals select catcher Zachary Goldstein out of Pittsburgh. Goldstein's largely a defensive catcher, but he has enough potential to be a relevant bat with some work. Perhaps the next Yadi Molina? We'll see. With the 12th pick in the 4th round, 116th overall, your Miami Marlins select starting pitcher Julian Gore out of Florida. Another piece of a big 3 pitching rotation in Florida. Gore's breaking pitches are crippling to hitters. If he can get some more development, he can really throw some nasty major league stuff. With the 26th pick in the 4th round, 130th overall, the Boston Red Sox select second baseman Keith Jackson out of Texas. Now, Keith has the potential to be one of the best steals in this entire draft. Very durable and clutch hitter with speed and good fielding. He has potential to grow into one of the best second basemen in all of baseball. With the 12th pick now in the 5th round, 146 overall, your Miami Marlins select catcher Bobby Ashburn out of Ole Miss. Now, Bobby's a rare thing. He's more of a hitting catcher than a defensive one. He can hit lefties really well, and he has great vision and discipline at the plate. However, you do not want him behind the plate or on the base paths, really. With the 19th pick in the 5th round, 153rd overall, the Washington Nationals select starting pitcher Jack Saxon out of Minnesota. This lefty ace from the Golden Gophers definitely has the potential to grow into a great piece of a major league rotation at only 20 years old. With the 20th pick in the 5th round, 154 overall, the Atlanta Braves select shortstop Mike Wells out of Illinois. Yet another Illini, and Wells has some great potential. He needs to develop that switch-hitting bat of his, though. With the 22nd pick in the 5th round, 156th overall, the Chicago White Sox select second baseman Remy Ellis out of Boston College. Most scouts don't think Remy has superstar potential, but he definitely has all the tools at the plate and in the field. We'll see who is wronged. With the 24th pick in the 5th round, 158th overall, the Minnesota Twins select closing pitcher friends Kelio Hobramovich from Russia. It is rare to see a great ball player from Russia, but Hobo, as they call him in the States, has all the workings of a great closer in this league, and he will get to the bigs sooner rather than later. Finally, we get to the 6th round, and with the 12th pick in the 6th round, 176th overall, your Miami Marlins select second baseman Kareem Askew from Cuba, a good fielder and base runner with an ironclad body. Askew still has a lot of work to do at the plate to be anything more than a career backup. With the 14th pick in the 6th round, 178th overall, the Arizona Diamondbacks select second baseman Brandon Ramsey out of Arizona State. Ramsey is a very solid contact hitter already and just needs to develop his defense to be an option as an everyday second baseman. With the 22nd pick in the 6th round, 185th overall, the Chicago White Sox select second baseman Johnny Nova. A speedy runner and powerful hitter, Johnny Nova coming from Rutgers will definitely be competing with Remy Ellis for at-bats in that Chicago organizational trait. And finally, with the 25th pick in the 6th round of the MLB draft, 188th overall, the St. Louis Cardinals select third baseman Chad Taylor out of Maryland. Ben McCutcheon's teammate and college roommate is a very raw fielder and mediocre base runner, but he definitely has some mojo at the plate. Taylor could find himself in a starting role in the minors this season. Lots of new user players are coming into the league this season. If you want to be on the ball to get yourself a player for Season 3, make sure you put all the notifications on for the channel and watch for when I make that community post. I like to record ahead as it's less stress on me knowing I have a bank of videos going, so it's kind of on you if you want to be in the series to actually keep up with the series and the channel as a whole. That being said, what do you think of this Marlins draft class? I know it's very pitcher heavy, but let me know in the comments section below. Also, if you were drafted, what do you think of your player's skill? Where do you think he'll be in the next season or two? Do you think he ever becomes a star? Let me know that as well. In the off-season video, we will find out all of those answers as we take an updated look at all of the user prospects, where they are at, what level of ball they are in. Next episode, we will continue our quest towards a playoff berth and get closer to the All-Star break. Make sure you guys drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it all and you want the channel to continue to grow so that I can do this full time. I really appreciate all of you who support my goals and my dreams. If you're new to this channel, I post Marlins every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, and I'm probably going to be putting some videos up soon of some potential new series ideas to see if you guys like any of those and maybe get a potential second series running alongside Marlins on the channel. So make sure that you hit that sub button and that notification bell to stay up to date. Also, consider joining the Discord, which is linked in the description below, as well as following my Twitch to see me live more often than not. Thank you, FG fam. I love you, and if you want to see more franchise, click right here to see some more franchise.
I feel you back somehow.